Hello and welcome. In this video we'll review some of the techniques used in Mastercam to trim entities. On the screen are 6 different examples I'm going to use. First up, trim one entity, trim 2, trim 3. Over on the right I'm going to move into divide. We're going to be doing some trimming to a point and break. Now I'm going to modify the right side geometry to match the geometry on the left side. So let's get started. I'm going to move into Edit, Trim Break, and select Trim Break Extend. Now, before I start to trim, how do we get help on this function? Well, over on the right hand side of the ribbon bar, I'm going to click on the Help icon. And here we are in Help with information on the Trim, Extend, Break ribbon bar. I'm going to click on Button Definitions, and next up I'm going to click on Trim One Entity. Now don't forget, Help is just a couple of clicks away. So let's exit Help and back to our first example, Trim One Entity. Now up on the ribbon bar, Trim One Entity is activated and there's a prompt on the screen, select the entity to trim extend. Now just a reminder, the key to using trim is to pick the entity on the side of the trimming curve you wish to keep. So trim one entity, what I'm going to do is pick this line and then move up and select this horizontal line, and it's trimmed up to the horizontal line. Looks good. Next up, just down below, we're going to move into trim to entity. So what I'm going to do is move up and on the ribbon bar select the icon Trim to Entity. So on the left, this is what we're trying to accomplish. So select the entity to trim to extend. Well, I'm going to pick this end of the line. This end is what I want to keep, and I'm going to move on down and pick this line. Looks good. Next up, trim 3 entities. So I'm going to pick on the 3 entity icon. And now for this example, I'm going to pick this line, slide on down, pick this line, and then move on over and pick the circle last on the right hand side. And they're both the same. Looks good. Now moving up into the top right corner, we're going to move into divide. So up on the ribbon bar, I'm going to click on divide, and the prompt changes to select the curve to divide. So this is the goal. So what I'm going to do is pick on the line here, and it's trimmed back to the closest intersections. Looks good. Now just below we've got an example for trim to point. So once again, up on the ribbon bar, I'm going to click on Trim to Point, and the prompt, select the entity to trim extend. Well, what I'm going to do is pick this line, and then I'm prompted, indicate the trim extend location. What I'm going to do now is pick this point, and the line gets trimmed back to that point position. Looks good. Next up, we're going to click on the break icon. Now the prompt, select the entity to break extend. Moving down to the bottom right corner, what I'm going to do is pick this line and then move over and select this intersection point. Now what we have now is we haven't really trimmed the line, we've just broken this line into 2 pieces. So as I hover over this end, there's one line. As I move over to the left, there's the other line. So that's break. Now we're done here. I'm going to click on OK. Now one last thing, let's go and have a look at Close Arc. So I'm going to move into Edit, Trim Break, and then right at the very bottom of this list, Close Arc. Now I'm prompted to select an arc to convert to a full circle. So what I'm going to do is move on down and pick this arc. Now to move on to the next stage, I'm going to go up to the right hand side and click on End Selection, and that turns that arc into a complete circle. Now that completes this video. Thanks for watching.